it's Suki from Career Plus Recruitment. Welcome to our new program, Career Plus Talk Show. We will invite all the elites from different industries to share their interesting and unique experience in their career paths. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Louie Liu, the area manager of mobile lending from Westpac Group. Hi Louie, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for coming today. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been actually really good. Had some time off during the Christmas and New Year break. Stayed at home, did nothing. I think you really need to do nothing and just reflect on the year that has been, what you've achieved, what you've done, and obviously think about what you want to do in the new year. But resting is really, really important. So
Okay.
that's what I've done. Just
Good to hear.
Yeah.
So could you please introduce more about yourself to our audience, please?
Sure. Thanks for having me here today, Suki. Hi everyone, my name's Louie Liu. I am the lending area manager for all the mobile lenders here in Victoria, currently working for the Westpac Banking Group.
Cool.
Yeah.
And our audience is very interested to know how to step up in the banking and finance
Really?
industry like you.
Okay. Well, look, I don't think there's really any secrets to it. You just got to know what you're doing and how you do it. You got to be able to build your personal brand. You got to have people above you that's supporting you. And of course, most importantly, your network is your net worth. It's really, really important to build your own network, build your brand, make sure that you've got your number and obviously your people behind you that support you to allow you to progress through the banking chain of command. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do differently to get yourself promoted 3 times within a short time of period?
Look, I didn't really do anything different to what I just said earlier. I think probably after my 5th year in banking, all the jobs that came afterwards was a tap on the shoulder. So someone would obviously like what you've done during the process that they've dealt with you, and obviously asked whether or not if you'd like to join their team to do something different, right? Look, I haven't done anything different. It's pretty much about knowing what I want to do. Set yourself a goal, talk to someone, talk to your mentor about how you're going to get there from point A to point B. What's the shortest way? What's the quickest way? And often plan ahead. Don't look at the money. Don't look at the next job. Look at the job that you want to go to eventually, and plan out the fastest route to your next position. But obviously, you got to love what you're doing, right? You got to be able to know what you're doing, and that's a very, very important thing. Plan your progression. I think that's something that people like you would be able to help people like me. Right? So
I hope so. So as you mentioned, you have been working at Westpac for 5.5 years,
yes.
And we noticed you promoted 3 times from premium partnership manager to area manager.
Yep.
How amazing is it? And would you mind to share some success tips with our audience?
Yeah, look, it's I don't think that's quite amazing, to be honest. It's just normal by my standards. Maybe
Yeah,
I've
very
got my
humble.
standards. Yeah, but like I said earlier on, it's really, really important to know what you want to do. So ever since I started at Westpac, I wanted to become a people leader. So I joined the bank as a premium partnership manager. I was promoted because I've got good numbers to be the relationship director to the now premier banking department. At the same time, I was the acting head of multicultural and customer acquisition for a short period of time of just a little bit under 12 months. After that, I got approached by my current people leader, tap on the shoulder and ask whether or not if you want to come over to the mobile department and help structure and build and revitalise the mobile banking structure here at Westpac.
So as you told us that you already set up your goal before you entering the banking and finance industry as a team leader. So what's the most challenging thing when you try to achieve your goal?
Look, I think time management is really, really important, right? You got to be able to set your goals. You got to be able to know what you want to do. The other really hard thing, which I think it's really, really important, is about building your brand. So a lot of bankers out there that's watching the show would have a similar experience, thinking that, I'm so good, why didn't I get promoted? Why did so-and-so get promoted? But we fail to reflect on within ourselves in terms of what we've done that's not as good as the others. So as You might like it or you may not. Some other people are just really good at telling the story. So you've got to be able to know what to do. You've got to have the numbers to back yourself up. But at the same time, you've got to be able to talk the talk and understand how you're going to be, telling the story about what you've actually done to change the business, what you've done differently to change yourself, how you actually got the numbers that you got. Otherwise, people will think that you're just lucky. You're just lucky that you've got the results. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So it's really, really important, as I was told by my previous people leader, that I need to work on being more confident. I need to be able to tell a story. I need to be able to know how to explain to senior management in terms of what I've done to transform the business into where it is currently today. So that's probably the hardest thing that I had to reflect, change, because I'm really good at doing my job. However, I don't know how to talk the story in terms of what I've done, how I've done it, and how I've been able to, insert my personal skill sets to change the business from what it was to where it is currently. It's really, really important for our audiences out there to understand that you've got to be able to know how to convey, how to be able to talk. I think talking is a skill set, which some of us may have and some of us may not have. So you've got to be able to tell the story, but not just tell the story. You've got to be able to have the numbers to back yourself up.
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned about goal setting, communication with your team leader, your colleague, and of course a self-improvement,
Yes.
or how to add your personal value into the company value, etc.
Yeah.
So what are the top 3 things you value most in your career path? Like the paths you mentioned before. Any extra things you want to add into your conversation?
Look, I think the 3 things that I would say is really, really important, if I understand your question correctly, you got to have a really good work ethic. That's something really, really important. The workplace has got to be a friendly workplace. You see, your colleagues more than you see your family.
Yes.
So you come to work every single day, you see all of these people, you got to be happy. But most importantly, you got to be able to love the job that you actually do. If you don't love what you do, it's very, very difficult to have this fake mask on all the time, coming into work and trying to complete a task when you're not even enjoying it.
Yeah, that's true. And now you are team leader, and of course you will be in charge of hiring people.
Yep.
Now, when you're looking for a new team member to join your team, what do you value the most? And can you share some, candidates pre-screen tips with everyone?
Yep. Look, it really depends on the position that you're kind of hiring at the moment, right? So, for example, some tips for the people that's going to go out to interviews is to know the job that you're actually applying for. A lot of the time, people are just submitting applications, 50 apps a day, 60 apps a day, but they don't even know what they want. And most importantly, they don't even know what the job is all about.
Yeah.
Some of the questions that the interview person would always ask, sometimes I ask that as well, what do you think the job is all about? Do you know what this position is about? Do you know what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
And it depends on the answer, you'd see whether or not they've prepared for it. So it's really, really important to prepare for something. And like I said earlier, one of my high school teachers has taught me that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I think it's really, really important to know the position that you're applying for. And also, I guess it's really, really a simple thing. Just have a conversation. Sometimes you get really nervous, and as an interview person, you can tell that you're very, very nervous. Don't be nervous, you're there. I don't know if this is really harsh to say or not, but if they've given you a chance for an interview, that means that they're interested in what they saw on your resume. It's therefore then your job to go in to elaborate and make sure that what they saw on the resume is represented in front of them in the real flesh. It's really, really important. I always say to people that if you've been given an opportunity for an interview, and if you didn't get the job, you need to go home and reflect on what you've done incorrectly. Because 8 out of 10, sometimes 9 out of 10 chances is that you might have done something that lost you the opportunity to be able to have that job. I would not give someone a interviewing opportunity if I don't have the intention on hiring that particular individual. So you need to understand that it's really, really important that if you've got the interview, your 1 foot's already in. That's me personally. Other people out there might be completely different, but it's then completely up to you to convince me why you're the right person. Otherwise, you're not even going to be sitting in front of me. And I guess the last thing that is also very important is that don't tell a lie. So when you don't know how to answer a question, you can ask for them to ask you another question. Depending on the role that you're applying for, right, you might not even get a chance. Some different hiring managers will ask you different questions depending on the role that you're applying for. The most funniest question that I've ever got is that, Louie, you're now a owner of a fish and chip shop. What are you going to do? I've also got questions thrown at me is, what's 80 divided by 3? Which is completely irrelevant to the job that you're going for. I think that all they're wanting to see is your thought process, how you actually react to sudden things that's thrown your way. You can always tell if you're knowing what you're talking about. And often in this 21st century with IT, everything's really transparent. Just like applying for a loan, we'll know your numbers from a different bank. So I think it's really, really important to be true to yourself. It's integrity that matters. For example, if I'm hiring someone in a bank and you're lying to me on an interview and I find out, then what other things are you going to be lying about after I give you the job? That'll be something that I would take into consideration. And those would probably be the 3 tips that I think I wanted to give to people watching out there, which I think it's really, really important.
Now, a lot of people dreaming to work for a bank because, from our culture, all the parents think, hey, I'm proud of my kid, I'm working in the bank.
Yeah.
Now, can you share your life that working in a bank with us?
It doesn't look pretty.
Really?
It's not really glamorous. Do I love my job? Absolutely. I've been here for 13 years. Have I thought about quitting? Yes, I have, many times. Would I pick a different career path? Probably. Don't know. But life as a banker, it's not as all glamorous as people think, right? I mean, Asian parents want to get you be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, or you want to be something else, like a big company, have a stable job. But I think it really depends up to people's interpretation of what a bank really does. It's about people helping people. So that's our motto here at Westpac. We're people helping people. Nothing special. We're just trying to help Australians achieve their dream. Helping your clients managing their finance. It's something really that's fulfilling in terms of if you help the client. And I think it's the same in every single type of industry, that you feel valued. For me personally, I want to leave a legacy behind in terms of what I've done. I want to reflect and say, hey, what I've done this year, not nothing. That was back in uni, when you party all day and you come home and you think about it, oh crap, it's exams. What have I learned this year? Nothing, Whereas right now, you're a little bit older, mature, you'd often think what I've done this year, how many clients I've helped, what would people think of me? What have I done for the community? That's something that's really rewarding, and I think that's the good thing about being a banker, that you'd be able to help people, because finance is very important to people's daily lives.
Thanks for your honesty, okay?
All good.
I really appreciate it. So
Honest
for
person.
I know,
person.
that's why you're here with me.
Yeah.
So for someone fresh graduates that want to enter in the banking and the finance industry, get a job, any tips?
Look, Rome is not built in one day. There's really no shortcut to things. But if you're really interested in a particular position, or if you're really interested about the bank, it's always good to understand what the bank is all about, what the role is all about, and you can apply for a graduate position, although the numbers are very limited depending on your test results. But I think it's really, really important to have a network. You'd want to start early, have a mentor that works in a bank, potentially ask them what it takes, what's it gonna take for me to get into the bank. I'm sure they would give you an honest answer. I'm sending me emails, personal bankers asking me, what should my next move be? Do you have time next time when you're in the eastern region? Would you want to have a coffee catch up? I'm not going to say no to that. If I say no, I'd propose a new time. So you want it to be able to show your interest and you've got to be able to stand apart from the rest, because everyone else won't say anything, but if you did, and it's a really good question, then you would really leave a positive image, and often that will increase your chance, because I know who you are.
Just try your best to get what you want. Communication.
Correct.
Create an opportunity for yourself,
Yes.
and that's how when you create luck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And of course, my understanding is in the banking industry, you have tier 1, tier 2, normal banking department and
Yeah.
corporate level.
Yeah.
So if say I'm already working in the bank, right? I want to get a promotion
Yeah.
to the corporate team.
Yeah.
Any tips? Any shortcut?
That's a very difficult question, because I don't even know how to answer that, because we do have different departments. I won't say that they're different tiers, but if you call them tiers, for example, small business, commercial, corporate, institution, if that's what you're referring to, then I would ask you to refer back to my previous answer in terms of knowing about that department. And obviously get to know the person that's in charge of the business unit. You can ask questions like, Suki, what are you looking for in this person that you're going to hire? What do I have to do to be able to get to that position? And often if you're too far away from it, the person in charge will tell you, you've got to start with this, that, then come back to me, we'll have another conversation. But if you don't feel that it's taking you somewhere, you can often have a really direct and honest conversation, because usually if they ask me directly, I will tell them the real feedback. So ask the question, the worst they can say is no, but work out what your gaps are. I think that's a really, really important thing. It's always reflecting about yourself. Don't always blame others, reflect and find out what the gaps are.
Yeah, and I understand even as a team member, right? Every day your calendar can be empty, can be no appointment, but you still order on the phone.
Yeah.
And people may ask for help or some email, hundreds, thousands email coming, inquiries, this and that, complaint. How you make sure yourself work-life balance?
Work-life balance. That's a really good question.
Never balance.
Yeah, look, some people work to live. Some people live to work. It's really difficult to balance it once you get to a stage. But all the good bankers would be able to balance their life out. But look, I think you do have people that be able to do the role 7 hours a day. They'll be able to get the work done. You'd have people that's working 12 hours a day and producing the same amount of results. So it's really difficult to say, but I think time management is the answer you're looking for. You got to be able to plan your diary properly. You got to be able to plan your day properly. And that's why I said that it's a trap, because when my diary is empty, it's almost my busiest days. You'd think Mondays and Fridays are usually busy, but it's really, really important for you to block out your time. And the hardest thing is to make sure you follow those, because often you'd block out a time to process a loan application or to do some compliance work, and you get a phone call, and it's game over.
Do you do gym, or do you have any special hobbies to release your stress?
I think it's really important to go and meet with friends. And something really, really important. And I like to play basketball. I haven't done a lot of that during COVID lockdown, hence why I'm growing sideways.
No, I can tell from your height.
Yeah, but look, I think you need to have something on the side as a hobby to be able to release your stress, or to really just keep in contact. A lot of the people, or even the job opportunities that I've been given, a lot of it is from playing basketball, meeting different people. Really. So it's a great way to.
Maybe I should start playing basketball
or badminton
to recruit more people, right?
Potentially, yeah.
Okay, so from your perspective,
Yes.
What's the economic situation for 2021 under COVID-19?
Great question. If I know that, I wouldn't be sitting here. But look, personal opinion, I feel like we're on the recovery.
Yeah.
And it doesn't represent the bank, obviously, but I do feel like we're on a right trajectory, as seen by the numbers that the teams and Vic has produced recently, that everyone's really busy. Diaries booked out 3 weeks later. So I personally would hope that the market is on the rise again, but a lot of it is all dependent on various things, right? And it's really hard to forecast or stipulate what it looks like, but hopefully we're on the rise again.
Okay, so anything that you want to say to our audience for the beginning of 2021?
Yeah, stay healthy. Stay healthy. It's really, really important. Mental
Stay
health.
positive.
Stay positive and test negative. That's the new word on the street these days. But I think it's really, really important to realize that your body, your health, your family, that's actually the most important thing. Sometimes we work so hard we don't really spend time with our family. And I think that it is really, really good to be able to step aside, connect with friends, be mentally strong because of COVID out there, because of the lockdown that happened. I think it's really, really important that you keep in touch with the community, you keep in touch with your family and friends, and make sure that you're healthy.
Yeah, reset your body and mindset sometimes is good and helpful for you to start a new year or new page in your life.
Yes.
And thanks so much, Louie, today for your priceless information and time.
No.
And if you want to get more useful career tips, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye.
See you later.